I have to ask, was Donald Trump lying when he said there was an imminent threat from Iran?
Yes, he was. I've seen all the intelligence. There was no imminent threat, and this was a war of choice. And, I don't defend the Iranian regime, but there was a reason for the last, 50 plus years, America, or even with allies, didn't take on that regime without a plan. And I'd just quickly say that, the administration finally said there were 4 goals. Regime change, how are we doing there? Not so good. The enriched uranium, it is there, and it would take 15,000 troops on the ground. They clearly have the ballistic missiles and drones, and the evidence of the strait being closed is $4 gas and $5 diesel.
Are you worried about ground troops? We're now hearing reporting from the Wall Street Journal and others that Donald Trump is considering going to the other extreme of sending in ground troops, having been the guy who was going to do no foreign wars, no endless wars.
I cannot think of anything that would be more uniformly unpopular. I mean, the irony again was the ground troops were to try to go after some of the enriched uranium, these canisters that are quite volatile. It would take, again, minimum 15,000 troops about a week, and all through that time, the Iranians would be using their missiles to bomb those troops. It would be a further disaster. So I don't believe he will take that step, but I don't think, there's not been a organized, straightforward plan. And his unwillingness to come before Congress or go to the American people and say, here's what I want to do with this war is crazy.
We are approaching the 150-day mark of this war. We're hearing reports of maybe ground troops. Donald Trump just talked about, if I want to take Karg Island, I'll take Karg Island. He's also said he has no interest, quote, in returning to the negotiating table. We have 4 American troops killed just recently, just announced. Does Donald Trump have the blood of not just innocent Iranian school kids on his hands, but also these American soldiers who are dying because of his stubbornness, his hawkishness, his lack of a plan?
Well, I would add on that literally hundreds of grievously wounded soldiers as well, and those casualty reports have not come out in the traditional way of disclosure.
Yep.
And that's why I say it sounds glib, but Donald Trump lies repeatedly. So if he just says, all right, we've won, he said we've won many, many times. Of course, exiting will make us and the region less safe, but I think the idea of continuing this war without a plan is a disaster, and he should get out.
We're all supposed to pretend that those centuries of savagery are for some reason not informative about the society, about the people, about the culture, about the system, about the beliefs, and about the character of the so-called civilization that did those things. From multiple genocides to colonization to chattel slavery, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, shock and awe, Gaza, economic sabotage, debt imperialism, on and on and on. We're all supposed to somehow, for some reason, separate all of that from the society that committed it. Like we have to treat Westerners as somehow divorced from their own actions. We're not supposed to look at their history and our history with them. We're not supposed to look at that and draw any conclusions whatsoever about what kind of people they are. Tell me why. No, that's not intelligent. That's not intelligent. And we have all agreed for some reason to just go on and suspend what our intelligence demands us to do at a basic level, which is to, yes, you look at their actions and understand that their actions reveal their character, reveal their nature, reveal their culture, their morals, their beliefs, and so forth. You'd do that with anyone else. You would do that with any other nation, and you would certainly do it with any individual. I mean, imagine someone attacks you on the street, or someone invades your home, breaks into your home, and they kill your family, they steal all your money, steal all your possessions, maims and injures you to where you can't walk. Do you think any of that might possibly suggest something about his character, the character of the assailant? Or are you supposed to act like he has nothing to do with his own actions? Like after that, you're supposed to still pretend like you have no idea what kind of person it is that did that to you. And then he comes back a month later and does it again. And then he does it again. And then he does it again and again. Are you seriously going to be like, yeah, I don't know. I have no way of knowing what his values are. He's probably a decent man. I can't really speculate on his character. No, you'd have to be out of your mind. And that is the utterly bizarre context that we've all grown up in. A context in which not only have Westerners or Western nations been allowed to get away with what they've gotten away with, but in which we're all supposed to pretend that what they have done reveals nothing whatsoever about them as a people.